the regular meeting of the Cultural Arts Commission on March 25th, 2026 at 7 p.m. We're residing at 415 Diamond Street, Redondo Beach in the City Council chambers. I'd like to call the meeting to order.
All right.
May I have a roll call?
We know that Council Member Michelle Gold will not be in attendance tonight. She's ill. Chelsea Lawrence, I do not see. Have we heard from her?
I have not.
Declare her absent. Juan Melendez. Here. Victoria Pizzoli also said that she was ill and would not be able to attend tonight. Orhan Tanner.
Here.
Christian Kelly.
Here.
And Michelle O'Brien Herrera.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Now I'd like us to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, I have a suggestion to change the order of agenda. I'd like to change it where we start with item J1. I'm sorry, item J2. Then we move to item J1, J3, and then I. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as I've mentioned to change?
I make a motion.
I second.
Thank you, Christian Kelly, and thank you, Commissioner Tanner. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Are there any blue folder items for tonight's meeting?
There are 3 items in the blue folder that were submitted by Commissioner Orhan Tanner. One of them is an email with information on a California Arts Council grant opportunity that he wanted everybody to see. The deadline is somewhat short, but not impossible, so it is worth reviewing. Then there are 2 other items. One is documentation on, some draft examples of what he spoke about last time, mission statements and vision statements that can be attached to item J3 because he feels that it is significant and at the heart of the strategic direction that we take this commission. Presuming that I got that correct. And then the last one was past information, past versions of bylaws, because that has been discussed on a number of occasions, and this would be something that could perhaps be agendized for the next meeting.
Great. Thank you.
So all you need to do is receive and file these.
Very good. Is there a motion to receive and file?
Unless somebody else wants to pull
Unless you
one.
would like to discuss first.
Before the motion, may I say a few words on the 3 items very briefly? The first one is a grant opportunity, obviously, by the state, California Art Council. It's a simple process compared to other art grants. So I think these are the things that we should be slowly start looking into it because it's, in a sense, doesn't put any pressure on the city's budget. Municipal governments, as well as nonprofit art organizations, I think we have some of them here today, are eligible to apply for these grants. There have been meetings in every grant period. There are meetings of information where they share information, and one of them is coming up, actually. It's this Friday. It's close to us. It's in Carson. So if anybody is interested, including the city, you may want to just look into it, either attend it or maybe send somebody. And in terms of the grant writing process, which I think it can be sometimes painful, doesn't put pressure on the staff, which is already, overworked. I want to repeat my earlier suggestion from the past year, and again, previous years, that we should look into hiring some interns who can basically help us with not only filling up the application, but also identifying other grant opportunities. Also, LA County Department of Culture and Arts has a very, very generous grant program. So anyway, I mean, we haven't done this yet as a both Public Arts Commission in the past and Cultural Arts Commission now. There is money not only for visual arts, but performing arts, music, dance. You know, again, I just wanted to make people aware of this, and if you or somebody can attend that meeting on Friday, that would be great. That's all. On the two other items, I will later on make a motion to make it an agenda item. As you know, our staff has mentioned our bylaws, which is still in draft form. So we cannot actually discuss it right now, but we can just receive and file it right now. But
Let's receive and file now, and if you'd like to bring that up under K, and we can try and get agendized.
Exactly, that's what we are going to do. But the only reason I wanted to, put both of them in front of you today, because some of the information, especially in the previous one about our mission and vision statement, that's something that we talked about again since January of last year, could be valuable to our discussion on the strategic plan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion to receive and file?
I make a motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Christian Kelly, for motioning. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Melendez. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We now move on to the consent calendar. Business items, except those formally noticed for public hearing or discussion, are assigned to the consent calendar. The commission members may request that any consent calendar items be removed, discussed, and act upon separately. Items removed from the consent calendar will be taken up under the excluded consent calendar section below. Those items remaining on the consent calendar will be approved in one motion following oral communications. Are there any members of the commission or public that wish to pull an item for further discussion? If not, we will approve all consent items in one motion. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar as is?
I make the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Tanner. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Christian Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public participation on non-agenda items. This section is intended to provide members of the public with the opportunity to comment on any subject that does not appear on the agenda for action. This section is limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be afforded 3 minutes to address the commission. Each speaker will be permitted to speak only once. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak?
Hi, Joan Irvine, District 1. And of course, I can't find the information I want to talk about, but you talk about art. The mosaic art artists in our city have announced that they're actually going to be doing a workshop. So that April 18th, they're going to be doing a workshop, and I don't have all the details here, but about, it's from like 9:30 to 3:30. And I think it's great. I don't know what the cost is or anything, but I think it's great because people have been seeing their mosaic art all over the city, including the Esplanade, and have been asking if they could be doing some classes. So they're finally doing some classes, and you'll find it on, it'll be on Facebook. So I just want to let people know if they want to learn about how to do mosaic art, they can learn from the experts in our town. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have
any
any
other public
written,
comments?
any written submissions?
There are no attendees on Zoom and no e-comments.
Thank you. Okay. Yep, so now. Give me 1 second. Okay. So now we'll go into the discussion and possible action regarding a proposal of support and partnership considerations from the Redondo Ballet Company.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Francesca Stern, and do we need our first panel? Yeah, our first slide. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Thank you. My name is Francesca Stern, and I founded Redondo Ballet in 2014 with a vision of creating a home for the art of dance in the South Bay. I'm a classically trained ballet dancer, and I was awarded the prestigious fellowship from the Imperial Society of Teachers of Dancing in London, England, and I am the co-artistic director of Redondo Ballet.
Good evening. My name is Donna Perkins, and I've been in the film and television business as a multiple award-winning director, producer, choreographer, and executive innovator for over 30 years. I am the president of the board of directors, and I am the co-artistic director with Francesca of Redondo Ballet. And next panel, please.
Yes.
Good evening, commissioners. I'm Ann Jacoby. I'm a board member of Redondo Ballet, and I have a professional background in the performing arts. I was a graduate of the Los Angeles County High School for the Arts, and I have an MBA from NYU Stern School of Business, have been in business for over 20 years, and I'm a proud Redondo Beach resident. So, next slide, please. We have an agenda today over the next 10 minutes or so. Next slide, please. There we go. We'll talk about who we are, our mission and our vision. We'll talk about our current impact, really the impact on the Redondo Beach community. We want to talk about the benefits to the city of Redondo Beach. And finally, a few specific requests for additional partnership. And we'll end with a Q&A, and it should take us around 15 minutes.
So here we are. Redondo Ballet's mission is to change lives through the power of dance. We deliver original works of dance to ballet enthusiasts, as well as those who have yet to discover this centuries-old art form. Redondo Ballet's mission is to engage the community and nurture company dancers to become compassionate citizens of the world. The company is headquartered in Redondo Beach, with facilities on Artesia Boulevard. We build a foundational work of art that's rooted in classical ballet, but you'll also be enthralled by the genres such as jazz, tap, and contemporary that we combine with modern-day innovation.
Which makes it all quite entertaining, right?
It does.
It is
Fabulous.
absolutely entertaining. And next slide, please. Yes, and as you will see, RBC's season consists of two very large-scale original professional productions, Snow Queen and Through the Pages, both at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. And I'd like to bring your attention to that wonderful quote, opulent, stunning, and intensely entertaining. And that was succinctly and beautifully stated by Ovation TV. Now, they are an arts television broadcaster, and they air our productions. They used to air our productions. And why, you ask? Would an international, well-respected arts broadcaster that airs content from the highest caliber of ballet companies want to partner with Redondo Ballet? Well, because of, I should not be ashamed to say, our grandeur, our innovation in utilizing multimedia to enhance the visual experience, our inclusion of professional dancers to work alongside our very talented company dancers, and our sheer creativity, all resulting in high-quality, distinctive storytelling for all ages.
And it really is for all ages,
Absolutely,
isn't it?
yes.
It is. In addition to its commitment to high-quality productions, Redondo Ballet Company is dedicated to philanthropic outreach to instill the importance of community service in each of our Redondo Ballet Company members. Oh, next slide, please. I'm not reading my script properly. We reach this goal on two levels. Redondo Ballet's own philanthropic program, Ballet in a Box, and our outreach team, as you can see there. And whether it's food drives for those in need, beach cleanups, school supply drives, socks of love for those unhoused individuals, or cards of thanks for our first responders, and cards of love to the senior citizens, or working with individuals who are neurodivergent or with special needs.
Yes.
Our company members buddy up with these dancers, and we hope that they're hoping to make a positive impact in our community and learning to become actively compassionate citizens.
Absolutely, yeah.
RBC also gives hundreds of tickets to the Redondo Beach seniors so they can come and see these fabulous performances.
Absolutely. And the philanthropic and outreach work is so fulfilling and important for our dancers, as well as the community members that receive it. We're really excited and feel that that's an important component of Redondo Ballet. Now, economic studies have revealed the benefits and economic impact of a city's investment in cultural arts. Now, let's use Tulsa as an example. The nonprofit arts and culture sector generated over $200 million. And let's quickly break this down because that's a very fabulous number for a city.
Number.
Yes. $137 million spent by arts audiences, $21.8 million in tax revenue, $7,876 for full-time equivalent jobs supported, and $47.6 million spent by non-residents in meals, lodging, transportation, and merchandise. Those are significant numbers. And although Redondo Beach is not the size of Tulsa, this gives us a snapshot in how Redondo Ballet can aid the city in reaching new heights in the city's arts profile, helping to bring in new arts dollars and grow the city in each economic sector, all resulting in stronger social cohesion and civic engagement. Yes?
And with a more formalized partnership with Redondo Ballet Company, the city of Redondo Beach may benefit from things such as positive PR associated from a partnership due to RBC's reach to thousands of families and community members in the South Bay, positive marketing support of the Artesia project, right, from a premier art institution, which is located on Artesia Boulevard. Support of sponsored initiatives from the City of Redondo Beach's Cultural Arts Department, and positive PR from the community outreach with sponsorship opportunities.
Absolutely, yes.
Next slide, please. So I invite you to imagine coming to Redondo Beach, you're a new resident, and you discover that Redondo Beach has a ballet company. I mean, how incredible would that be to feel like the city is an invested partner in an arts institution? I think that's exciting to me. But to make this a reality, we really do need your support. Next slide, please. So this is an AI-generated image that I created just to give you a glimpse into what more marketing could look like on Artesia Boulevard to demonstrate the city's commitment to an art institute like Redondo Ballet Company. So again, just banners on Artesia Boulevard. We care about the arts. It's here. Next slide, please. So we do have a few specific requests. The first would be an official endorsement from the mayor saying, yes, Redondo Ballet Company is the official ballet company of Redondo Beach. That would be meaningful for us in our marketing and our promotions, just to have that stamp of approval. Two, we know that the expenses of theater rental facilities can be hard on a nonprofit institution. So reducing those facilities fees, eliminating maintenance surcharges, things that can be reduced, we would greatly appreciate that flexibility. Some permission to create multimedia promotional materials. So whether that's waiving cost of city permits, allowing us access, obviously we could be really good partners with businesses to co-promote. So we're very open and have a lot of creative ideas about how to bring that to life. We're also asking for city support in complementary marketing. So things like easy reader show advertisements or inclusion in local newsletters, that would be really meaningful to promote the great productions that Redondo Ballet is contributing. And then finally, strategic invitations for Redondo Ballet Company dancers to be involved in co-promoting these amazing city events. Just that greater, stronger partnership so that we can be present and share this amazing art would be really meaningful for this company. Next slide.
And so we just would like to take the last moments here to thank you so much for listening and learning more about Redondo Ballet. And I'm a resident of Redondo Ballet. Well, I actually am a resident.
Yes, we spent a lot of time there.
Yes, we do live there. Yes,
practically live there.
Yeah. But also Redondo Beach. So thank you so much for listening this evening.
And we appreciate you giving us this opportunity to present to all of you. We appreciate your time, and we welcome answering any questions you may have at this time.
Thank you.
Can we ask and answer questions?
I believe this is time for
This
us
is a
to open for
discussion
discussion.
item.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Okay. May I start?
Yes, you can.
First of all, thank you very much. This is a fantastic presentation. And as a neighbor, I live off Artesia as well, but also a fellow Redondo Beach resident. I congratulate you. This is one of the best presentations, not only in terms of the presentation itself, but in its content that I heard in a very, very long time. Redondo Beach definitely needs organizations like you. It's a different form of art than what we are used to, because again, we used to be more public art oriented commission, mainly involved in visual arts. And now we are looking into music as well as performing arts. So I'm very, very excited. And the other good thing is, I can tell you have an MBA in your group. You haven't asked for money, which is great, which is a perfect start. You ask for a bunch of in-kind things. I'm not in a position to approve or something like that, but I can tell you that I will wholeheartedly support it. In terms of one final comment, helping to the reputation of or the image of Redondo Beach elsewhere, I think it will tremendously contribute to it. Several of our similar cities in Southern California, let's say Laguna Beach, they have a reputation with visual arts. I think San Pedro has a different activities, including a theater company and so on and so forth. So it would be a fantastic thing. One of the things that I may just humbly suggest is, if we go along, one of the things you may want to consider is organizing a ballet festival, inviting other troupes, because we have the most beautiful performing arts center in the neighborhood. So not only, you can organize it, we can't organize this. We don't know much about, the other ballet companies or so. So that would be fantastic. It will be a tremendous thing for the youth. These are the things that we need in our city to inspire youth about these things. And lastly, on that last point that you made about one of the things that you have asked for example, getting involved in is it called Music by the Sea, our program?
Jack, can we go back one slide? Is that possible? Thank you.
Thank you. But in number 5, music in the park, I don't think we have a music in the park. I think we have music by the beach, something like that. And I got the program today, which I will talk about it later on. But it's all about, music, and it's all about basically legacy bands and rock and roll. So I was going to actually suggest that we include maybe a Tuesdays of jazz, classical music, and maybe ballet. Because if you take ballet and put it into a very visible space that people are going to, such as the beach, it will help you tremendously. As you can see, I don't have any questions. I had made a lot of comments.
That's good.
But thanks again.
We welcome them, absolutely.
Thank you very much. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Agree with Commissioner Tanner. Wonderful presentation. A few questions. You talk about, there's a few things that I think we might need to get some clarity on our part, and luckily we have Jack that might be able to help us with this at a later time. But I'm wondering, do we need to form a subcommittee or anything to find out about the current fees that they're paying or the cost of the things that they're asking for?
No, this is information.
Okay.
I don't know about all the things they're asking for specifically. I can tell you what they've been paying
Okay.
at the theater in a detailed breakdown, because that is public documentation anyway.
Okay.
So I can get that for you.
Very good. I'd like to just see that. And then my question to you, I love what you're bringing to us. I agree with Commissioner Tanner. I think that we've been talking about ways, we're a cultural arts committee now, and not just public art. So we've been talking about ways of how we can incorporate all of the arts into our umbrella as well. My question to you is, along with these, if we do discounted fees or the things that you suggest, what more would you bring to the city then? Would you be able to bring more productions? Would you, you talk about how we bring more people in to spend money within the city.
Right.
Would we look at another production or more things that you might do maybe outside of the performing arts and bring things down to the
Absolutely,
beach?
something that we'd be
Okay.
able to look at,
Yeah.
sure.
And one thing we would really love to do is be able to invite the schools during the day, field trips, to come and, either see a show, or what else is really interesting is to watch a dress rehearsal and see the actual, what happens, why do you stop? What happens if the music's weird, so we can do all different sorts of opportunities depending on what the schools are working on. We've been into elementary schools and done assemblies and made them history assemblies, the history of dance or cultural, all sorts of things.
We have a whole school component. We had over 200 students who came to see Snow Queen.
Right,
And what we do is a whole separate program. They have something that works along with the curriculum in their school, so it becomes a learning opportunity as well. So we would like to it was mostly LAUSD. So we would like to offer that for the schools here in Redondo Beach as well, where if that's a Friday show, we're bring in all the schools for that Friday show, fill up the theater, but it also becomes a learning opportunity for them for the arts. What is this story about? Find something. They have a whole little work page. It's a really lovely program that we do for our elementary and middle schools as well.
Thank you.
I've got I got some questions. And when you guys perform at the Performing Arts Center, how many shows are you putting on over the course of a year?
We do 2 shows. We do a Saturday night and a Sunday of Snow Queen, and a Saturday night and a Sunday matinee of Through the Pages as well. So we're able to do 4 productions in our season, and our season is the fall to the next spring.
Okay, so how long is it taking, if let's say we do get the fees down, and you guys, would you be able to fit, I would imagine the idea would be to fit another production or another one, right? So with the reduction in fees and stuff like that and community outreach, I'm familiar with the Timothy Chalamet comment online. We have a lot of young people here tonight.
Right.
Okay?
He doesn't care for that sort of thing.
But they're here right now. And these are those opportunities to come up with different avenues to appeal to them. Sure. For instance, a lot of these guys, they got to take a girl out. Girls got to take whoever out. Having student night, date night, whatever that is, those kind of things. I'm just bringing up opportunities for these guys that, they always go to a movie and that's about it, or whatever. They're taking the girl out. So that as an idea. I guess the other thing is bringing in, I'm event oriented. I did a lot of events back in my day, and ticket prices and stuff like that. Have you guys done discounted tickets you've done that in the past too
We have discount for seniors, for students, yes.
That's what I'm saying, like a date night or something. Right. So these guys will I like the idea of the behind the scenes, the rehearsals, having worked in entertainment and stuff too. A lot of people don't really get how much stuff's going on in the background with the lights and cues and musical cues, lighting cues and all that stuff. Yes. So you can definitely, I think it's great.
Thank you.
Some of the other cities, just to give you an idea, They will create whole weekends, art weekends,
Yeah.
where the art gallery is doing something, the restaurants are doing something, it all leads to the production. Hotels are involved, there's a
Yeah.
whole weekend, there's a lot of revenue to be made with, coin it, whatever the Redondo Beach
Art Festival.
Arts Festival,
And then hop
right?
around.
And
Yeah, yeah.
you've got restaurants involved, galleries involved, hotels involved, and then they all culminate in coming to watch the Redondo Ballet Company.
Yeah.
So if we could really get together and have that synergy of, let's create something really special for the city of Redondo Beach, where it does become an arts mecca, where everything is involved that Redondo Beach has to offer.
I like that idea a lot. I'd like for maybe someone to reach out to the North Redondo Beach Business Association and see if we can maybe do something where we,
Yes.
make that a, I like that idea a lot.
As far as like, you know, the banners and things like that, you do have fellow businesses that, you know, they're working hard on their businesses too. So that will have to be something that's up to, of course, the mayor and the council to figure out when that goes, because you have to have, you know,
Right, you have to be
everybody
fair.
has to have a little
But
little
I
piece
think
of
the
that.
thing that we have to remember, that, you know, it's just sort of focus on is that Redondo Ballet is a non-profit organization. So it really isn't in competition with a local
For-profit
business, a
business.
for-profit business.
Right, but I think for the Artesia corridor, they're working so hard for everybody there. And so when they're ready to do that, I think that there should be just some compatibility and understanding that, you know, even with a nonprofit, you're having businesses that are paying their taxes, they're doing all the, you know, so they are still contributors and need to have a little bit of their publicity too, if the city is going to be doing it. So maybe that's something in the process with the design with the, you know, city when it comes upon that with the consultant and all of that. But I do like seeing that too. Is this something where we can all maybe agendize this and get some more clarifying questions with Jack too? And so this is, you know, to put on the agenda again, so we can get some
If you would like to
dollar
continue
signs
this
and-
to
and
to the
just to
next
understand
meeting,
a little bit how it
answer some of the
works and-
questions you asked about costs and so forth,
costs and
I can
things
have all
like
that, have that data for you.
Yeah.
And you can also send me requests for information. If I have time, I will put that together for you.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, it's long overdue and appreciate all of that. I mean, as I still have my ballet shoes as a little girl. Just saying, I might be a little fuller figure ballet girl, but I still have them and
you
love
can
all
still
that you
do
do.
it.
And I think Redondo would be so lucky to have, you know, something like this succeed. So, but if we could do that, that'd be great, Jack, if we could get some. So can we do
And the
that?
purpose of agendizing it would be to make a recommendation to the city council
To get clarifying questions, and then I think we could do a vote then,
and
right?
then make a recommendation to the council that we are in full support or, you know, partial support of this thing.
Yeah, this would end up having to go to the council directly as a proposal because we're asking for things that have monetary value that we don't have the authority.
That's why
But
you
you
want to
can,
agendize it.
you
Okay,
can
okay.
offer or not your support for the idea.
Yeah, that's
so
the
that-
idea, is that they're not asking for money, so it
No.
should be a.
They're asking for some cost reductions at the theater.
Correct, but
So
it's-
that is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
definitely a reduction in revenue that would have to be approved because our revenue is set by city council master fee schedule.
Yeah, the idea would be.
But they can make any rule they want.
Right,
Yeah, yeah,
right, right.
but we would be, the idea is that it's offsetting for marketing, like they're helping us out. Just so everybody in the crowd, these kids, everybody, the idea is that we get an army of ballet to utilize throughout the city for.
Well, I'm not arguing how
anything.
I'm not arguing how it's presented or how it's benefiting. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No,
that
no.
We don't get to give the authority to waive fees. The council does.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can offer the commission's support for that idea and proposal.
Yeah,
if you
I'm
wish,
spinning it on the
if you support it. Yeah.
glass super half full.
Yes.
Jack, can we recommend that we put it onto an agenda now, or should we wait for that for Kay?
Either.
Okay.
This is a discussion item
Yeah.
that you can action.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right
I
now,
would
if
like
you
to put a vote to put this on an agenda. Do we need to vote for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to put to vote that we place this on next month's agenda for further discussion. including looking into the fees and any other questions that the commission may have before we move forward to a vote on passing this on to City Council. Is there, I guess I motioned, is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Commissioner Christian Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
That was great. Thank you.
Now we'd like
Thank
to
you.
open up for public comment on this.
We should ask for public comments.
Yeah, we should. Is there any public comment on Redondo Beach Ballet Company?
I see a lot of those wonderful.
Are there any online comments?
There are no attendees and no e-comments.
Thank you.
And
Okay, now we'd like to turn over for our liaison report.
And we are at J2, my report. The report is a little sparse this time around. The Finance Department was heavily knees deep, neck deep in the mid-year budget. And so they have not updated my dollar figures. So it is, what you're seeing is last month's report on the John Parsons Public Art Fund. I did add a couple of items and remove some expired ones to the list of things going on around. The large North Redondo Business Association's Spring Fest, which shows up every year, has a public stage, and there will be live performances of various kinds, dance, music, that are open to the public and free to see. And then additionally, I put down this weekend we have a production of something called the Living Art Experience, which is sort of a local version of the Pageant of the Masters, where they take models and paint them and create realistic scenery and recreate famous artworks. In this case, they're specifically directed towards Easter. So these are all largely religious artworks, but what they do is quite stunning. So eminently worth the visit. And that's all I have on this particular report
Okay.
at the moment.
Can I ask a question on the staff report, please?
Yes.
Are we in charge of the programming of the Redondo Beach Arts Center?
We don't really program per se, as we rent out. So
Okay.
I am the one who rents the theater out, yes.
Are you also in charge of the selection of the music by the beach?
No, that's Music on the Pier is
Yes.
part of the Redondo's Pier Association. And that's handled through economic development and waterfront.
And it doesn't tap into the city's budget? They
I
pay
have
for
no
it?
idea how it operates, to be perfectly honest.
Would it be, can you check on that just for us?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
It might take a little bit. They just lost their director. He moved on to another position, and they're in the process of hiring. So there's a little bit of scrambling going on right now. So
Okay.
I'll get the answer as quickly as I can.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Because I'm sorry, if there is a city contribution to that program, that may also be relevant to our discussion with the Redondo Ballet Company. That's all I wanted to know.
Very good.
Thank
Thank you. Do I ask for public
Yeah, they're the same ones, by the way, who did the former, no longer running Chalk Art Festival on the pier. And that's something that our subcommittee on that is looking to replicate and restore. But that also came out of the Pier Association. They may be a source of information on how that was structured.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Is there a motion to receive and file liaison report?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Christian Kelly. Thank you, Commissioner Tanner, for seconding. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We now move on to the discussion and possible action regarding input and suggestions for the City Council's consideration during the forthcoming strategic plan session. So I'd now like to open us up for discussion. Jack, do you want to lead us in this discussion?
Briefly, a brief intro is that every year, the city council and mayor and all of the department heads hold a session of strategic planning, and the purpose of this is to develop the next 6 to 12 months. They do it in 3-year increments, but 6 to 12 months directives that the elected officials will give the staff, and that they hope and demand to be accomplished in the following year. There's a variety of categories of it as to what the purposes are, whether it's improving quality of life or improving safety, improving revenues. There's various categories in which they will create a variety of directives. And this strategic planning session is where that largely comes together. This commission submitted to that a variety of recommendations last year in about the same time slot. The way it's normally done is you look at the existing strategic matrix, shows what they agreed to last year that they want done, and see if there are holes that you believe should be filled or things you believe should be done or created, your input basically, and they should relate to the category headings of this stuff. These are not specifically budget items that will come separately probably next month, but these are general goals. And there were a number that were offered last year. You selected Commissioner Lawrence to write up your ideas once they had been decided. And I assisted with that a little bit, and that was submitted. And you can see in their planning session agenda, I attached, so you could see what they did last time, and you can see all the other commissions, their inputs, along with your letter as well of inputs. You can see what you had in there, and this is an opportunity to do the same.
Is this something where, because it's on a time crunch a little bit?
Thank you for reminding me.
We
spoke about this afternoon. This is very time crunch. Normally they give this information a little bit earlier. This meeting is going to be on March 31st. And that means they've already published their agenda. So we have precious little time to get it in as a blue folder item. Last time we took 3-4 weeks to put it together. This time we have maybe 2 days. So we need to decide clearly what we want, assign somebody to basically write it up as you see, make sure you've got everybody's, captured everybody's ideas. It can't be more than a subcommittee because otherwise you'd be breaking the Brown Act.
Right.
So that's why you discuss now, make sure we're all on the same page as to what you want to promote. And then we'll put it together. And if I can be of assistance like I was last time in finalizing the letter, I'd be happy to do that. And then I transport it to the assistant to the city manager, who will get it into the blue folder, so it will be on their agenda for March 31st.
Very good. Would we like to start our discussion about this?
Yes.
Do you want to start, Commissioner Tanner?
Sure. Quick question though, the March 30th, is that the one in the Redondo Beach Library?
Correct.
Okay, so.
And that is open to the public.
It's open to public. It's going to be a long meeting, I assume.
This year, it's going to be shorter than it's ever been. They normally went 2 to 8, but they had a meeting problem. They had to reschedule. That means they're only going to go to 2 till 6. And at 6:30, they're going to start up the meeting that they had to cancel. So it'll be a 4-hour opportunity.
Okay.
You can be there directly in the library. If it fills up, they will be also showing it on the screen in here, live streaming it for additional seating.
Okay. In terms of the strategic plan, I think the letter that we wrote last year, which I have in front of me, was an excellent letter, April 23rd, 2025. Because it's a strategic plan, we talked about big ideas. None of them made into the metrics.
Right.
So two
Can't
things
speak for the city council.
I know, but one thing we need to be careful about this time is try to increase the effect of our letter to them, either by writing a shorter letter, or maybe, picking up some of these ideas that we had last year. Also, even mentioning the fact that none of them actually made it into the strategic plan. I read also the Youth Commission's letter. I also read the other ones. I mean, they are very good too, but in terms of the discussion itself, I can continue like 1 minute right now. I think the point that we made about like two things, about the Olympics and the incorporating art into the, whatever the city is doing with the Olympics and that kind of stuff is crucial as a strategic plan. And then the second one is our just big idea about, starting a Redondo Beach Art Museum. I think it's a strategic plan idea that I'm, as you all know, very much interested in. The rest of it, developing an art hub and that kind of stuff, I don't know. The only other thing, I'm sorry, let me just add this one too. There have been discussions about building a new police facility. As far as you know, has that been resolved?
I've not heard any results from that.
Okay. I think, Madam Chair, the idea was to combine both the annex building, which is right next to the Redondo Beach Union High School, right on Pacific Coast Highway. I think they know the building that I'm talking about. And then the existing police facility, which is right here, into a one big building, which will make that building by Redondo Beach Union High School obsolete. So if we can basically tell them that we want to grab it, we want to turn it into an art center and put that into the strategic plan. This is something that we discussed before. And the main advantages of that is like threefold. It's an existing building. It's an architecturally significant building. It is a very visible building. It's right on the Pacific Coast Highway, and its proximity to our high school makes it very appealing, both in terms of parking, in terms of the students taking advantage of the museum, and things like that. So that would be the only additional item that I would like to see in our recommendation to the council, a strategic plan. And then in general, I want to take everything out and just concentrate on the Olympics and an art museum.
Very good. Thank you.
The police annex alteration that you're talking about, you said arts center. Are you referring to the art museum, or is there more than that?
It's basically an art center which can also have like studios. That's some of our discussions. Okay. And also obviously exhibition space. A museum is something different, which basically has a permanent collection and also exhibition space. We need that too. But that's on a much, so the police annex is more of a community project. And then the museum idea is more of a grand scale, like international magnet, things like that.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Tanner.
Welcome.
For me, since I've been on this commission, my main thing is getting a map of all the existing artwork in the city that we have when it was established, how long that the artists and everything.
I'm sorry, you're talking specifically about public art?
Public art, like everywhere. Art. We should have a map of everything and all the details. Now, bear with me, another map of all possible performing art spaces that we're allowed to safety-wise and stuff like that. Because eventually, once we start performing out in public, we're going to need speakers, electricity, So we need that's those scouting things too. On a grander, more future-proofing ourselves, I think we need some kind of cool map, some kind of interactive map that we can build so we don't have to keep doing this, where we go into files and paper and everything. We need some kind of updated system where we can make it look cool, spin it around, and find all this stuff, especially if we're going to be having it.
Is this for use by the Cultural Commission, or is this also for the public to use as a locator?
For sure. If we're talking about grand schemes of having, like we just talked about, incorporating the Redondo Beach Ballet, we've got the Olympics coming up. If we do something to the size of having some kind of event where we're moving people from the promenade to, you know, Artesia Boulevard, to the Performing Arts Center, to the whatever, this population that's sitting out in the crowd, they're not going to want paper flyers and anything like that. They're going to see a map. They're going to want to be able to schedule their tickets and all that stuff and spin a map around and look cool. Like, I want something like Batman, like where we spin it around, I type in my ticket, and then I'm like, okay, I got to be here by 12, I got to go here, that kind of thing. So we need to start thinking. I say this a lot, but like Redondo Beach is not a sleepy town anymore. And we're talking about high art and all this other stuff. Like, we got to future-proof this. So we need some kind of interactive map that we can use to.
Can you specify the types of things you would want to see on it?
Yeah, like locations of art. We have a guy that comes in here every day. Like, we should have some kind of map. Like, I mean, it's not even that hard to incorporate Google Maps or something. But
would you also want to show performance
yeah,
spaces?
yeah, but it
or
should
other
be
things?
overlays, you know? Like if you have a map, it should be in 3D where it overlays. Like, where are all the sculptural arts that we have in Redondo Beach? That should be one map. Where are all the murals? That should be another map.
But can I just say, remember we got from the, one of the city workers, I got district maps to give everybody as homework.
Yeah.
And to mark it off. So we have, you know, that if we can have that, that's something that we can, you know, have them do. And it's exactly what we've asked in the past, and it's to map all of the artwork, like the Bollards, you know, Ernesto Morange's mural, and have a map, but in collaboration with that, I agree, then, you know, other things could be added that are in our community that go along with that people can see and interact with. And
That's what I wanted to see. Did you want to include things like performance spaces, some of the other things that are under your purview?
Yeah,
now,
I
like
mean,
the
if we-
because
cultural
that's our purview, so, I mean, that's,
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we
more
need
of a
to build.
cohesive
We need
cultural map.
Yeah, like
With
but in
layers.
some kind of digital.
And, you know, more
thing
than
to
a
build
map,
on.
an app, actually, an app, right?
Yeah,
An
well, we got a
app,
guy that
which-
comes in here every so often, and he talks about that he's got an app and everything. But I mean,
Rick
there's
McClellan,
stuff out
yeah.
there. We don't have to program it ourselves. Like, there's people out there that have maps. We just got to put the overlays. It's just a matter of like building that out. We're talking
Well,
big stuff
staff.
here, like
We're
the
putting
If
it on-
Olympics.
somebody's doing it
city
privately,
staff.
then you don't need the council. So what are you asking the council to do?
To approve, start thinking big like this, like thinking about these maps that we're going to need if we're talking about bringing in revenue from the Olympics. Like, we're going to need some kind of platform, something to plug into.
and engage the
for
public with it.
not just here though, worldwide.
All
We're talking
world,
about
yeah.
like
Okay.
people are coming from Belgium
Tourism.
or wherever they come. Yeah, they're going to
Yeah.
want to see a map.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that. That's my piece about future-proofing Redondo Beach and having the cultural arts that we're talking about, to have that system be built, or take something that's already built and put our stuff on top of it.
Understood.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner Melendez. Commissioner, okay. I have two ideas for our strategic plan. The first one, I think, mirrors what Commissioner Tanner said. I think that we do have a really strong need for a cultural arts center. Manhattan Beach has a great one. Palos Verdes has a great one. I would like for us to do something very similar to that. We've mentioned the annex building, if that's a possibility, but what they both have is that wonderful third space that you keep hearing that we really need. It's a place for us to go and maybe have teen art lessons, adult art lessons, children's art lessons. It's also a place for a community to maybe showcase artwork that's done at the high school or from our local artists. It's a place where people can just go and hang out and maybe, you know, spin some pottery or take a little time to do some watercoloring on their own. It would be a nice community gathering space, but also a showcase for the art within our community. I think that if we could find an existing space, and looking over the strategic plan that they currently have, it looks like part of, I think it was the Planning Commission, I could be wrong, was looking at existing spaces within Redondo Beach that are open. And, you know, it seems like this is something that we see a lot. Even the teens are asking for areas where they can go and hang out. I think everybody's looking for the same thing, and it hopefully can fall on us to find that space for a cultural arts center where we can all come together. My second thing is somehow figuring out how to encourage the city. I noticed that, again, with what the Teen Commission asked for last year, and then the Parks Commission is talking, or the Parks people are talking about, is how to make things more inviting and friendly to the people not only within our city, but to visitors. And I think that might go back to the Olympics coming up too. Is it maybe like an art piece that's also a chess table where people can want to go out on the pier and sit and hang out and spend time? Is it a really interesting bench? They mentioned some developments to Franklin Park. Maybe it's a really interesting bench at Franklin Park that people want to go and it's really cool and we want to take pictures on this bench. You know, I want us to look at the city, I don't know, looking at it, giving us money or ideas towards creating inviting places within our city that aren't just, I don't want to say businesses, but aren't just established things already, that make our city more interesting through art.
You're looking at more interactive pieces.
Yeah, more interactive pieces. You know, I wrote down interesting benches, chess tables, maybe permanent chess tables, maybe interactive art spaces where people will want to grab a coffee, walk around it, take photos, things that just make our city a little more interesting. We talk about wanting to get people to the pier or to the Esplanade or to Artesia, and how can we do that? Maybe through some interesting art pieces. So I guess what I'm asking for them is maybe, I don't know how we word this one, you guys, but budget towards some interesting interactive art placed strategically throughout parks and areas of interest through the city. And that is all.
Seeing it maybe as art as a family attractant?
Maybe.
Not quite sure
I
how
know,
to,
I'm not quite
how,
sure
how to
either.
put a label on it.
Maybe incorporating art into their plan of, because they do have on here, I noticed, you know, it was Franklin Park, and people are talking about making, like I know the teen one also said, making places for them to hang out. So how can we all come together and find a way to make it more inviting in our city?
I mean, for me, I have a lot of friends that are musicians, and a lot of, I don't know if these guys play, but like a lot of people just want spaces to play where they don't have to pay for, you know, renting a space to play their guitars and things like that. But yeah, interactive spaces, I agree. They're places where you can go free.
And also like artist workshops. There's a lot of people that would like to do that too, and, you know, do a forum, artist forum, you know, with certain subjects. That's something that also, you know, can be collaboration with the schools too for the art department there, and, you know, more community engagement that's open for our community regarding the arts, right?
So under the strategic plan, they have expanded and enhanced public spaces, amenities, and programs. So I guess what I'm thinking is something along the lines of that category. I would like us to maybe look at exploring options to add, how would we word this? To add interactive art pieces.
Interactive and visible,
Yeah, interactive and.
Instagrammable. I mean, don't
Yeah,
put it
really,
in there,
but
but they are,
that's-
what
but
we are
that's what
talking
gets
about
people out.
Instagrammable
Yeah, I think
art
we were
pieces,
trying to
you know.
stay away from, but it
Yeah.
is. That's what it is.
Can I make a suggestion?
Please.
It seems to me that we are talking now about two ideas here, and then maybe a third one would be the art museum. But if we basically, for the purposes of this year's strategic thing, not mention the local choir, and also like including arts in the buses and that kind of stuff, that these are like small things, beautiful things, but little distractions. So one of them is, the first topic is under the Olympics, the visibility of the city, the visitors, which includes the art map, the art app, you know, Instagrammable artwork, that kind of stuff. So that would be one item
Yeah.
that we can suggest. The second one is definitely the art center. The art center, not only for, you know, exhibition space, but as a community center for art instructions, you know, classes, for even if it is a coffee shop in it, that artists can come and hang out and exchange ideas. Yeah, I think we have discussed about that. And then if I would still put as a third item, the art museum, because specifically we actually pointed out to two locations. One of them is the power plant, And I think that should be in front of the council all the time, has a great potential. And the alternative is basically to incorporate something into the plans for the Galleria. I think we should keep them in front of the city council all the time whenever we have the opportunity, because, you know, if they are basically turned into a project without having an art element in it, whether it's a museum or exhibition space or public art outdoors, it will be too late. So I would suggest that one, Olympics, that kind of stuff. Second, art center. Third, potential art museum. Those would be my 3 suggestions.
Very good. Thank you. Commissioner Christian Kelly, did you want to add anything?
No, just, I think that we should definitely, it's long overdue having some sort of website or social media presence with it. I mean, it's just, that's inevitable. I think it's important for the community to have that, and then also to show what we've done as a cultural arts commission and have the map of the art pieces that are there. Yeah, for sure.
To this map thing too is like, for me is, I don't know, I go looking for stuff to do on a Friday night, right? Like you got to go to however many things and you're looking for something to do. It'd be really cool to have some kind of, just to have that map. Like these guys would be able to, like, they're looking for stuff to do on a Friday night and just have food trucks dancing around town that they could follow and just turn it into a scavenger hunt, all kinds of nutty stuff that you can do with a map.
Also, didn't you
Thank
talk about
you.
grant applications?
So-
I'm sorry.
To have them be active more with the grant applications
With
too?
the city,
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it into the strategic
Okay.
plan.
okay.
Great. Thank you. So I think we have some great ideas for our strategic plan. Do we open it up to public discussion on this, Jack?
You certainly can.
At this time, we'd like to open for public discussion. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak on this?
Speak on input of what they'd like to see on the strategic plan.
Anything you guys want to happen in your city in the next 5 years? You are our future. Come on up.
Yeah, this is happening May 31st, so say whatever.
Hi, I just wanted to say
Will you
that,
just, your name? 1 second, tell us your name first, please.
Naomi Kaplan.
Thank you, Naomi.
I wanted to say that I think a third space is really needed, and I appreciate that a space where students, especially teenagers, could go to make art and participate in the city more would be a great thing to have. And I personally would love to be in a space should that exist. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not so scary. Does anyone else want to come up?
No.
Come on up.
Think also music, guys, music. Concerts, rock, dance parties.
There's a little form on the table there. Would you put your name down on it, please?
Oh, hello, committee. My name is Antonio Di Fiesta, and I can also attest of the importance of a third space in order to practice the arts, both visual and acoustic. If I could put in a little input myself, I helped run a workshop in my local community in Hawaii, and I can say that it's very nice to get to know a lot of other people. It's also a great way to spread a lot of the cultural traditions that usually would be missed in schools. Like you usually wouldn't have time for it in schools. So yeah, this is a very important discussion. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Can you sign right here? Sign the little, don't you need to? Thank you. Just sign, fill out that little form.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else
And
want to
just bring
come
it
up? Come on up.
Hi, my name is Isla, and I was just thinking, because you guys want to introduce like a museum of any sort, for Manhattan Beach Pier, they have like, you know, a aquarium basically on the pier, and that attracts lots of visitors. I know many like tourists go there. My friend is she's a what's the word, volunteer there. So she's always talking about the many people that come around the world. And I think for Redondo Beach Pier or just any like sort of area around the beach to introduce sort of like a museum. So instead having art would be a good idea for like, especially the Olympics with many different people coming around the world. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Is there any other public comment? Okay. Do we have any online comments?
Wilson, any online comments?
There are no e-comments and no attendees on Zoom.
Great, thank you. Before we close, is there anyone that would like to draft up this letter to send over to council?
Will you be working with whoever, right? Jack will be working.
As much time as I have will go to helping this, yes.
Yeah.
And it will be presented on the 31st to the council or
We'll
before?
actually put it in their blue folder for their agenda for that date. Yes.
Okay. Is there going to be somebody from us or from the staff present at the 31st meeting?
Well, somebody can attend as an observer, but we do not address them.
Okay.
I mean, there may be opportunities for public address,
Would it
but
help?
not as a commission.
Would it help?
I was planning
If
to get
one
there
of
if I
us-
can. I'm planning to. I can't
Okay.
promise that I'm gonna, but
No,
I'm
I'm just-
planning.
I
I've
can't
never
see
been-
the harm in it, but I don't know the process. I've never attended one.
Okay.
What I will do is I will ask my boss tomorrow morning,
I mean, it's
and
like-
I'll shoot you out a message as whether if she says that this is, an opportunity to actually do something.
Similar format. They're probably gonna ask public.
I
No. All right.
don't know.
Okay.
Your boss will be speaking at a conference tomorrow, which is also relevant, so let me mention,
She's doing that first, and then running over to the other one. Yeah.
which is about the cooperation between the beach cities in terms of the Olympics, getting ready for the Olympics. It's being held at the West Drift in Manhattan Beach. There will be representatives from Redondo Beach. Our mayor will be there as well. And one of the topics that they are going to discuss is actually arts, culture, and entertainment in terms of this. So I think that would be, if we just reiterate that,
I'm going to get us,
I will be there. I will listen to her and I will
I'm going to
listen.
get us back on track.
It's the
Thank you,
South Bay
Doug.
Council of Governments.
Does anyone on our commission want
Wanna
to
draft?
volunteer to draft up our letter to council?
I thought he was going to do
Well,
that. no?
Jack will do it along with we will do it along with Jack's help. It is our responsibility to write the letter, and then Jack is here to support us.
I don't want to presume
I'll
to write
volunteer.
your
I'll
minds.
volunteer.
Okay,
Let's
thank you.
Let's
I'll
have
make
you
notes for you.
put down what you want, and I'll help polish it.
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
By Friday though, because I want to listen to the meeting tomorrow.
So you'll do it on Friday?
I'll do it Thursday night. I'll do it tomorrow night.
Actually, I have to do it by Thursday because is Friday Flex Friday? Okay, then we have Friday. Friday is available.
Okay, I'll do it after I attend this meeting. By the way, it's open to the public. You guys may want to
What
look into
time
that.
is this? What time is it and where?
It starts at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
At the West Drift. It's done by the Beach Cities Government Organization, whatever, that Torrance, Manhattan Beach, Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach,
Okay.
Okay.
specifically for the preparations for the Olympics.
Olympics, great. So, Commissioner Tanner, thank you for offering to draft the letter for us
No
to
problem.
council. Can I make a motion to receive and file?
I make a motion to receive and file.
Thank you, Commissioner Christian Kelly. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Commissioner Tanner. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We are now on to discussion and possible action regarding recommendations from the subcommittee to identify and promote public art options on the Esplanade. Should I turn it over to you, Jack, for this?
Well, this is just a continuation of last week's. We tabled it and continued it to this week. So we're still where we were left off.
Right, and we did get a little bit of input, correct?
I'm sorry?
We got a little bit of input from,
Yes, we got some information. We spoke to the original artists of the Bollards. That was Debbie Collette and Patty Lynette. And they would love the opportunity to finish those. There was a shortage of funds that prevented it the first time. They got a lot, a lot of it was funded with donations last time. So it will certainly be more expensive this time around.
And
There are 22 of them. The city only participated in 10.
But they are interested in.
They are
in
interested.
finishing it off. Structurally, the bollards aren't structurally possibly sound for adding anything on top. So it would be exclusively for them. But I would still like to know about the putting it out there for RFQ for sculptures like we had mentioned then, so we can get that process possibly going to get artists interested, so we can get some.
You're talking about for the traffic circle,
Well, just all of it. You know, I think it's just, basically we need sculpturists that can do artwork for the Esplanade that are up to par with,
okay.
you know.
For an RFQ, we're going to have to put down, specifically, what do you have in mind? Not the art itself,
Right.
but I mean, areas or potential locations.
Right. So we gave some areas the last time.
Yeah, and
So,
budgetary figures, you know.
yeah.
How much you want to spend on this, how much you want to
Yeah,
spend on
I
that.
thought that's what the whole, okay. And also, it might be something where it's going to be a few, so it's not like, you know, we'd have to get some feedback from the artists that play interest, Jack, correct?
No, ultimately, you're going to
Yeah.
have to ask for proposals when the time
Right,
comes. The
right.
moment you're looking for qualified people,
Right.
and you want to specify what constitutes a qualified
Hence why we
person.
want to put an RFQ so we can have it out there, right?
Yeah, you want to know things like somebody who knows how to create something that will last in a marine environment, for instance.
Right.
That's not a place for beginners. Unless you're looking to just do local artists, make pretty things that maybe they last, maybe don't. I would think you'd want something more permanent.
Well, can we at least get some feedback from the city with Patty, Debbie Collette and Patty Lynette, since they're on board from the city, and because that's what we needed to get is the answer.
Finding out whether they can just be
Yeah.
continued as opposed to
Yeah.
going out and looking for more. If that's something you were interested in, I will get that answer.
Yes, I would
Yes,
definitely.
please. I thought
Yeah.
we talked about it last time,
We
but
did,
yes,
but
that's
there's
exactly what
some
we want.
were of the idea that having something
Okay.
else on the other sides might be also of benefit. So I mean, how do you wish to proceed? Do you want to charge this direction towards letting them
Well,
finish their work?
I know as part of the subcommittee what we want. It's, you know, fellow commissioners, is it something that we should, you know, put a vote in to do? I mean, that's what.
I need a little direction.
Yeah, well, I would like to have completion of the bollards that everybody's been waiting for.
I feel like that's it. If we're gonna do that,
Let's do
that's
it. Yeah, let's.
Like, don't,
Yeah.
one thing at a time. We
Yeah.
can come up with other things, like, go that way, get the bollards
we said the
finished.
last
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I mean, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Like, get
I
that
would-
knocked
yeah.
out and then
Make a
come up
motion.
with the
We can do.
rest.
I would like to know how much the bollards are going to cost. Because I feel
So-
like once we know that number,
Can you
we
have the
know our
number?
budget of $100,000.
We're getting numbers from Debbie and
Okay.
Patty now.
I think it sounds like we could take a vote on that part, but it would be nice to know if that's going to cost us, I don't know, $50,000. We still have another $50,000 for you guys to come up with an idea to
Yeah.
bring to us, right?
Okay,
And then we
so
can get the
job
RFP.
one is to make sure that we can do this without going to some sort of competitive process, that we can just name an artist.
Yes.
And we probably have precedent because we have artists who've already been approved and they didn't complete the last work. So that might be something that allows us to continue. I will check on that
Okay.
and get permission. Then following that, we would we would ask for a proposal.
So we did get information, and it was that
Mm-hmm.
originally the 2 panels were $600. And
Right.
so now
But that didn't include the bollards.
okay, but,
The bollards were donated.
but didn't they also give an estimate of what the extra 2 panels would be?
I think they did. I don't have that.
So it'd be
that message with
$700
me.
each, $700 for 2 panels.
Is that what they said?
700 for 2 panels.
Okay.
And the total cost of the project would be $15,400 for 22 ballards.
We got
Okay, so that's well within the budget.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
let's
so
vote that.
I just would like to, because this is the second time, if we could
Let's do it.
maybe move this forward so we can start getting
Yeah,
some of this would be wonderful to do.
Okay.
So do we just vote? Can we do it anyway?
So how do we,
Which would be 44 panels.
Next step is making sure we can do it that way.
Yeah.
That they're not going to make us go out and ask for requests for proposals
Right.
for competitors.
Can we do a vote that,
Or preempt it.
that then if the commissioners, fellow commissioners are all in unison, that we have the vote to move this forward and then present it to
Yeah.
council? That's what we're asking. That's what we're doing right
Vote
now.
now.
Because,
You mean whether you can vote now
yeah,
Yes.
without the information?
Yeah.
I guess
have
you-
the
Then I
information.
guess you could do it with the proviso that it's permissible.
Perfect.
okay,
Yes.
so go ahead, did you want to say something,
You know,
Commissioner?
provided this is an acceptable procurement process,
Yeah, I don't see anything.
you want to go ahead and do
Yeah.
that.
There's nothing wrong with agreeing before.
Yeah.
And at this point, all we're asking for is a proposal anyway. You're going to get to see what art they want to do. You're going to have to approve it.
No,
So
you
what
make-
we're
don't we
asking
make-
for is a proposal. I think you can always ask for a proposal.
Okay,
Right.
so we could even, if it
Maybe
was.
with a not to exceed dollar figure
Yeah, we
that
could even
matches theirs.
exceed it,
That's
like,
the way to
yeah,
make it a
to
motion.
do is to have it.
Provided that it doesn't
Doesn't
increase
exceed.
whatever, we all in agreement to move forward with this.
Yeah.
We can say that, and then
Yeah.
if we get bonked, then we get
Yeah.
bonked.
A voting quorum approves, and
Okay.
it'll be just up to the city to
So-
decide
so-
if we can go forward.
So with the
That
with
part
the
will be
price
done.
point that they did, do you want to cap it out at a certain amount that you all?
Well, you had a figure there.
Yeah, it was 15,400, so do you want to do
$20,000.
20?
Yeah.
You want to leave some contingency in there?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
But now if they hurt us, then they're
I-
going to charge 20.
Just one thing I want to also mention, I don't want to put this into this thing, but I just parked my car in front of the police building. They have a beautiful mural out there too, right? But all the cars are parked in front of it, so nobody sees the mural. And the mural is, I don't know whether you guys are surfers or not, actually 2 surfers on the beach. It's a beautiful mural, but in my opinion, it's at the wrong place.
those are the same artists as we want to do the ballards.
Okay,
Right,
yeah.
same artist, right?
So let's,
So, but it's related to that. If they are especially going to do something with the police building, we can ask them if they would be interested in moving that entire mural to the beach,
Yeah.
where the surfers are.
You would also have to contend with what the former council member, commission member Paul Moses pointed out, is that a lot of people were complaining about blocked views. So where you put something that large will be a little tricky down there.
On the side of a
But
building.
we're going to have a map.
all right.
Okay.
Would you like to make the motion?
I make a motion that we, not to exceed $20,000 for the finish mosaics on the ballards on the Esplanade with artists Patty Lynette and Debbie Collette.
So you are making a motion to ask for a proposal
Ask for a
from
proposal from-
DP Mosaics.
Yes, yep.
With a not to exceed number of $20,000 to complete the existing 22 bollards that all have 2 empty sides per.
Yes,
Yes.
Got it.
yeah.
that right?
And it was, yeah, it's
I second.
22 ballards, 44 panels.
Thank you, Commissioner Christian Kelly, for the motion. Thank you, Commissioner Tanner, for seconding. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, I'm sorry. Will we,
Public
should we do public comment first?
I'm sorry?
Should we do public comment before?
We should absolutely do public
Yes,
comment.
I
We
apologize.
seem to get that out of order.
The
Oh,
motion
I-
did not
yes.
pass yet. Is there public comment on this discussion? We got ahead of ourselves. I apologize.
We got excited.
Joan Irvine, I'll say as a representative and keep the Esplanade beautiful. First of all, thank you very much because you've been talking about, the LA 28 and all that, and we really want to have the Esplanade be as beautiful as possible for all the people coming in. We want there to be a map that people can come and they know what they're doing, where they're going. We've also kind of
offered to the tourism committee, maybe we do some tours down there during this time, that so people can go and say, hopefully it's on the map. And that's what that Rich McClellan was talking about, is having that it would have the history, it would have all that. So I think that's just very important. And I like the fact of at least moving forward on a piece of that, since we have the money. And then I do like the idea of the sculpture. But I also, and I've brought this up before, is, kind of my vision is I also see being able to have mosaics along the front part of the sitting wall. And I know that may not be able to be coming out of the $100,000 because of sculpture. We spend 20 here in the sculpture, but I would like to have that something that you consider. But I see that as like a decade-long project. But if you start at like the entry points to the beach, like Avenue I and Avenue C and Avenue A, whenever that's going to happen, but that's LA County. So I would like that to be considered, but at least I appreciate that you have a step that's doable, that's funded. You have the artist, who are wonderful artists, and so thank you for that and moving forward on this. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment?
Hi, my name is Evelyn Lackey. I've been a part of the Redondo Union art program actually for the last 4 years. And I thought that what you guys were talking about with art murals could actually be a really interesting, maybe partnership with the Redondo Union art program at RUHS, because, I mean, like you were saying, art down by the beach is a really important part of our community, especially murals down by the beach. And even though young artists who go to Redondo Union might not be as like skilled as maybe the usual people who paint the murals down there, I think it could be maybe an interesting opportunity to partner with more professional painters and maybe have a collaboration between the professional painters that is usually used for murals down there and also like the Redondo Union students art program. So
very good.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Do we have any online comments?
There are no e-comments and no attendees on Zoom.
Thank you. Would we like to motion?
Yes.
Can we go back to what we had already said as
The previous motion,
Okay.
yes.
Ditto.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Are we going to continue this item to the next meeting because we have not finished the rest of the $100,000?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes.
gotta
You
figure out
might want
what's
to vote
next.
to continue.
We continue to it.
Yes.
I put it agendize for the next meeting. We want to agendize it for the next meeting.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we call
yeah.
it continuation, it would go
Yeah,
under item I.
continuation, yeah.
Items
Yeah.
continued from previous, so.
You want us to vote on that,
You're not
too?
closing it, you're
You're
continuing.
continuing, yeah.
That way it's already on
Yeah.
the agenda. Okay?
Yeah.
You have to vote to move and
Yeah.
move and
I'm
vote.
waiting
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Would we like to motion to continue this item on our next agenda?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner
You gotta-
Christian Kelly for motioning. Thank you, Commissioner Tanner for seconding. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Now you're just down to the members, the commissioners' items and things that were spoken of agendizing next time.
Very good.
Okay.
So are there any commission members that would like to have any topics agendized for future meetings?
May I?
Okay.
Yeah, very briefly. So there are 3 items that I put forward, and one of them is some sample vision and mission statements for this council, because we discussed that we need something like that. So I wrote a sample, and then I used ChatGPT to help me be coming up with some alternatives, using keywords like the youth, the students, economic prosperity. So what you have in front of you for next time is 6 different versions of vision and mission statements. Feel free to mix them up, you know, in your minds, and then if we in our meeting next time, if we can come up with a finalized version, that would be great. And what I would like to have that mission and vision statements as part of our bylaws, which we don't have one right now. I mean, we do, but it's in draft format from January of 2025, when our name and scope was changed from Public Art Commission into the Cultural Arts Commission. And in my humble opinion, we need to finalize that as soon as practically possible too. It has this was distributed to us on January 22nd, 2025, the draft. We haven't acted on it. 2 specific items on that is that we need to concentrate on the very first one, which is actually the object, which basically specifies the role that and our limitations, what our duties are. I think the mission and vision statements should also be part of this Article 2. And then also some technical issues, like this one still says that we meet every other month. We need to change that to every month. But if you have some time, please go through it. It's in your packet, I believe, the draft.
Yes, what you have there is the original 2010 Public Art Commission bylaws, and then you have a draft set
of that. Yeah,
that was made from that, with additions that my predecessor thought were significant to include. You will have to make that decision for yourselves if you agree.
Okay. And then finally, obviously, our goals are based on this City Council ordinance, which was passed in October of 2024, I believe. I believe that's the correct number.
There was also an update.
Yeah, where they changed us into the Cultural Arts Commission. That would be our guideline. But I just happened to run into this other thing, which is called the City of Redondo Beach Public Art Master Plan, which is dated 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not suggesting that we should agendize this as well, but that's something to think about also in the future, that this needs to be revisited.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was actually part of the original public art ordinance specified that the public art should be done in compliance with a created public art master plan.
Right.
That was submitted. It was approved by the council. So to change it, we would have to resubmit to the council, but it is quite dated.
That strategic.
So it might merit revisiting because it's aged.
That's something to incorporate in a strategic list that we're talking
There's
about.
stuff in there, but there's a whole lot of other things. There's a list of the utility boxes that could be done.
Right.
So many have already been done. It's pretty dated.
Okay.
Right.
So it's worth a look to see if it's worth you decide if it's worth your time to update.
So Commissioner Tanner, what would you like to put on?
For the agenda next time, mission and vision statement, and basically finalizing the bylaws.
I got a question with that. What are you differentiating here as far as what you're calling, what you think a vision statement is and a mission statement? To me, they're kind of the same thing. And if we're putting something on paper or in a thing, it's more of a mission statement. But you wrote both, and I'm just asking the question of how do you see those two differentiating?
Well, mission is maybe more practical, more pragmatic things that we need to do in terms of more, and vision is more strategic, more global ideas.
I got you.
In terms of, what art is all about for Redondo Beach and that kind of stuff. And mission is how we should go about it, how we should achieve those goals or that vision.
All right.
But again, a very, very high level statement.
No. I want to make sure that we're in sync
Right.
about how we're differentiating a vision
Right.
between a
And then
mission.
finally, I know that I already made the motion and I'm going to, there is also a potential discussion maybe towards the summer is to look into the John Parsons Fund, the bylaws of that.
Okay.
Because right now it's very limited, very limiting us. We can only use it for certain public funds, public
Sculptures,
art,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Maybe there is a chance of, with this new vision of the city council, to incorporate other art elements into like dance or music and that kind of stuff and use the funds as long as they are, available free of charge to the public. Rather than just paintings.
You can make that proposal to the council. That's up to you.
Right, but I'm just basically giving my
Expanding
fellow
the-
council
expanding the
members a
purposes
heads
of
up
it.
that that's something that we need to look into this. But let's start with the
Since it's
bylaws.
yeah.
It's currently tied to an ordinance, so you would
Yeah.
you definitely have to do this to the council.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Is there anyone else who'd like to add anything to the agenda? We need to talk about our budget on the next agenda, is that
I
right?
think it's likely that that's when it will occur.
Okay.
So I would be thinking about budgetary items you'd want to do.
Want to have-
Something I neglected to mention during my liaison report. The $75,000 or 74 of it remaining that's still sitting at the transit center is not John Parsons Public Art Fund's money. It was Proposition C transportation funds. It cannot be relocated. It cannot be used for another purpose. It's stuck there. If we can
Well-
think of some art that we can do there, we can do it.
So we have
But we
$74,000.
cannot take that
to
money
spend,
as we
right?
originally intended, move it to Lilienthal.
All right, let's spend it.
Can we put it onto the buses?
I don't know, but I can ask that question.
Let's do that.
Our next manager meeting, I will have a
we'll
little
pump
chat
Redondo
with the,
Beach stuff on their
with
buses.
the transit director and see
Yeah.
if that's allowable.
Yeah.
And it's just for that transit center specifically?
Some Prop C transportation funds added to the project for art.
Prop C.
But it has to be related to transit specifically, and I believe it is specifically tied to that location.
That location.
So it
Redondo
was
Beach
never
is
John
that way.
Parsons Public Art Funds. They replaced that money when they moved Gateway to the other location.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we kind of got free money.
But you know,
okay.
start thinking about cool art you could do at the transit center, but
I like
it
it.
has to be visible. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good, that's good to know, thank you. Is there anything else that we'd like to have on a future agenda? Okay.
I think that's,
Should we put that on there? What are we going to do at the transit center?
If you want to make that an agenda item,
yeah.
that was a great idea.
I guess it really
Yeah, I
boils
think
down
it
to
is.
is how quickly are you going to discuss the budget
Okay.
section? Just like we just did strategic, we're going to be doing the actual budget.
Right.
And so if there's things you want to do and it's going to take time,
Mhm.
are you going to have time to go into that, or do you want to push it kick it down the road? If you want to make the time, I'll make the time.
I mean, talk about.
I mean, all we got to do, it's not bad to just get it on there and get ideas
Yeah.
rolling. We just knocked out the ballers pretty quick,
Yeah.
so we
Let's
just
do
make
it.
up
Let's
stuff.
get that on there.
Let's do it, yeah.
So initial brainstorm
Yeah.
of ideas, brief brainstorm of ideas.
You want to make that motion?
I would love to can we motion to include a brief discussion about possible artwork at the Redondo Beach Transit Center?
There is currently 74,000 to 75,000 remaining. There was a $1,000 stipend for the artist to do a proposal for the murals. And those were not valid because not valid, they were just not viable because apparently the walls are permeable and water leaks through them. And so we cannot paint those walls and expect the art to last.
And
It had to be something else.
I'll finish the motion first. So can I make a motion to have a brief discussion about possible artwork up to $74,000 worth at the Redondo Beach Transit Center?
My second?
Thank you, Commissioner Melendez, for seconding. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And if you could look into whether we can use that money on the buses or, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, we
That's
because
just
can mention
information,
that.
I'll get that.
Buses,
Yeah.
I
and
will
if
get that
there's
information.
Any other suggestions about what we could or should definitely stay away from? If there's something, are we thinking sculptural art? Are we thinking, is there something we definitely cannot do there? If
my understanding was just the murals
just
was
the
a
mural.
problem, and Gateway was so large that they ended up moving it to the back, and then it was out of view, and the council didn't like that. I don't think they ruled you could never do a piece of
Is that something-
sculpture again.
Is that something that you maybe get a little bit of input from Public Works, just because, just to make sure, because that was
What
the
is
thing.
well, you'd have to have a specific question. They're
Well,
very
just
specific
as far
people.
as far as what can go there, because it's kind of,
Painting walls out.
yeah.
Everything
So
else
we
is
know
still on
painting
the
walls
table.
out, but it could be anything from artwork on buses to.
I don't know, maybe painting the building itself is a possibility. Maybe
We
you
could
could
have
apply a
LED
mosaic
lights
on the
that-
building.
I'm just throwing it out there,
So
so we
we'll all
don't have
just-
something coming back to us like, you can't do that. So maybe just a little bit.
I guess, okay, we'll
Okay.
ask them if is there any no-nos that we should
No-nos.
just
Yeah,
stay away
that's right,
from?
Yeah,
And then maybe in the next month, everyone just takes a little field trip to kind
absolutely,
of
yeah.
check around the area and see what might fit nicely.
Yeah.
Any other items for agenda? Okay. So now we are at receive and file reports from active subcommittees. Do we have any reports from any active subcommittees right now?
Just no,
Okay,
I think we're okay with everything.
very good.
Well, our two people on chalk art aren't here tonight.
Not
and-
here.
And we just talked about the Esplanade.
Yeah.
Very good.
Is our consultant going to be attending next month's meeting?
I don't know. We got kind of paused on the LGBTQ sculpture outreach, which slowed things down because somebody hacked it.
Right.
And, we had somebody malicious decided to reproduce tons of messages, and we had to throw it away, and they are pursuing a more secure platform to redo it. The RFQs, on the other hand, should be done soon, and we should be proceeding with our community panel on looking at those.
Very good.
Not as an agenda item, but I feel that it would be great if we can get like regular updates from our consultants on a monthly basis. Maybe
Well,
a
there has to be
5.
something happening, and
What's that?
there's nothing at the moment. The RFQs are still open. They haven't closed them. And so we're waiting on that. And then we're doing the outreach, but we had to start over. So I don't think there's anything to report at this
Well,
point.
that's something, for example. What you just
If you
mentioned is
accept it from
something
me,
that.
I'll be happy to.
Yeah. We
I
can always
I
ask
have
from
I
the
have an every
liaison
2-week
part. We
check-in
can
with them. I'd
always
be happy to
Sure.
relay that kind of stuff.
We can always ask during the liaison part,
Yeah.
too.
I can make that a regular
Yeah.
thing.
I still feel that, if we are paying like $80,000 to somebody, that they should be available during our
yeah, I
meetings. If
said
we
I
have
that
any
think we'll
last time
see them
too.
again when
It's
the RFP
45, but
closes.
yes.
I think we'll see them again when the RFP.
I'm sure they would love to double it, but.
Even if we get an email from,
Before we adjourn, I just wanted to, one thing, thank you for mentioning that, I wanted to ask when the survey will be back available, so I'm sure you'll keep us posted. And then I just wanted to draw attention, and I'm sure all of you know, but there's a wonderful play that has its second week this weekend at Redondo Beach High School, and it's called Something Rotten. And there's performances, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone please, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Friday night, Saturday night at 7, and I believe it's Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. So I encourage everyone to get out and support our local theater.
After what I saw them do with Hadestown, I'd be really interested to see what they do
They're
with this.
fantastic, so, yeah,
Yeah.
highly encourage that. And with that, the next meeting of the Redondo Beach Cultural Arts Commission will be a regular meeting to be held at 7 p.m. on April 22nd, 2026, in the Redondo Beach Council Chambers at 415 Diamond Street, Redondo Beach, California. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
I second.
At 8:38, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
I'd like to